Goedenavond, dames en heren, excellenties. Hartelijke welkom bij de viering van de Dag van de Republiek. Thank you, I passed. With the promise that I shall speak much more Dutch on the occasion of the next Republic Day, please permit me to continue in English. Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of the Interior and Kingdom Relations, Ms. Kajsa Ollongren, Honorable Mayor of Utrecht, Mr. Jan van Zanen, two very special friends of India, former Minister Edith Schippers and former Minister Bert Koenders. Thank you so much, all of you, for your presence. Excellencies, ambassadors to the Netherlands of different countries, representatives of the government, officials from various walks of life, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to extend a warm welcome to this reception in honor of India's 69th Republic Day. I'm grateful to all of you for having gathered here, and I especially thank our guest of honor, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of the Interior and Kingdom Relations, as well as the Honorable Mayor of Utrecht for their presence. Please give them a big round of applause. The Indian Embassy is thankful to the National Foundation, the Nieuwe Kerk, for having provided this prestigious venue where the coronation of King Willem-Alexander as well as his marriage with Queen Maxima took place. It is particularly appropriate that the celebration of India's Republic Day takes place amidst this wonderful exhibition titled We Have a Dream, Gandhi, King and Mandela. The Republic Day of India marks that day in 1950 when the people of India adopted, enacted and gave to ourselves the Constitution of India. And the Indian Constitution fully enshrines the ideals that Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela stood for, struggled for, and for whose achievement they dedicated their lives. The preamble to the Indian Constitution says, "We, the people of India, have solemnly resolved to secure to all India's citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote amongst them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation." Ladies and gentlemen, justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. This is the mantra of the modern-day republic that is India. As India celebrates its 69th Republic Day, we are delighted that our Constitution sustains the largest democracy in the world. In our last general elections of 2014, 553 million, or 66.44% out of an electoral college of 834 million, voted using electronic voting machines. Through strenuous efforts over the last 7 decades, India has firmly established within our country the rule of law, a parliament that reflects the enormous diversity and variety of opinion in our country, a fiercely independent judiciary, a free press, and a vibrant civil society. Moreover, India has shown that democracy and rapid economic growth can go hand in hand. According to the World Bank and the IMF, India is the fastest growing large economy in the world, growing at a rate of 7.4 to 7.8% this year, and expected to continue to grow at this rate for the rest of this decade. Despite its size, scale, and diversity, India has attained an average of 6.6% growth for nearly 3 decades under a democratic system with full protection of human rights. India is today the 3rd largest economy in the world in purchasing power parity terms, with GDP of US $7.2 trillion. It is the 5th largest in nominal terms with a GDP of 2.7 trillion. India is also a young nation with over 60% of our population under the age of 35. Since 2014, India has seen a strong and stable government under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. initiate a number of radical reforms to reform the economy, accelerate growth, and empower women and children. The government has adopted a goods and services tax, which has unified our 1.3 billion people market for the first time. Improving the ease of doing business has been taken up as one of the top priorities of the government. As India grows and integrates more and more with the world, we see the people of Netherlands as our close friends and partners. The Netherlands was one of the first countries to recognize independent India in 1947. It has been a fellow traveler ever since, encouraging us along the path of development. 2017 was a special year for India-Netherlands relations, with Foreign Minister Bert Koenders visiting India in May and Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting the Netherlands in June. Investments from Netherlands into India went up around $2 billion in just 6 months of last year. Investment since 2015 from the Netherlands into India has been $8 billion. The Netherlands is the 4th largest investor in India. At the same time, our economic relations are a two-way street. Just as around 200 Dutch companies operate in India, Netherlands is also home to nearly 200 Indian companies. There is a steady increase in the number of Indian business and citizens relocating to this country, even as Dutch business and industry show greater interest in India. Last year, Tata Steel, the largest Indian company in the Netherlands, announced its merger with Germany's Thyssen Group. The headquarters of the merged company will remain the Netherlands. TCS, India's biggest IT firm, completed 20 years of operations in the Netherlands. One of our major producers and exporters of basmati rice, LT Foods, opened an ultra-modern rice milling plant in Rotterdam. Similarly, Synthite, the world's largest supplier of spice oils and oleoresins, opened operations in the food valley of Wageningen. Over 400 years back, the ships of the Dutch East India Company set sail from this city of Amsterdam for the coast of Kerala in South India in search of pepper, then known as black gold. The spice trade contributed in a significant way to the prosperity of this country and its people at that time. Today, ladies and gentlemen, as you leave, please make sure you take with you the latest offerings from Kerala, a gift box containing exotic products made for the global palate by the Synthite Group. Friends, 2018 promises to be an equally good year for India-Netherlands relations. Prime Minister Modi met Queen Maxima on the margins of the World Economic Forum in Davos early this week. Discussions are underway to prepare for visits to India by Prime Minister Mark Rutte and by Queen Maxima in her capacity as UN Secretary General's Special Advocate on Financial Inclusion. Further, we hope to celebrate for the first time the International Yoga Day on the Museum Plain of Amsterdam with mass yoga demonstrations and a wellness fair involving food, music, and dance on June 17 with the help of a Stichting International Yoga Day. I thank the City of Amsterdam for supporting this initiative and invite all of you to join us in making this event a huge success. My focus on the positive does not mean I ignore the troubles that confront the world. We live in difficult times. Political, social, economic, and environmental challenges confront all parts of the globe. Terrorism has left none untouched. The theme of the World Economic Forum this year is creating a shared future in a fractured world. In an address to the diplomatic community last week, His Majesty King Willem Alexander called for united action by the international community to make the world a safer and a better place in 2018. I conclude echoing his words and quoting few lines from India's national poet, Rabindranath Tagore, whose poetry won him a Nobel Prize in 1913, making him the first Asian ever to win the Nobel Prize. I quote, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Ladies and gentlemen, the poet wrote these lines as a prayer for India. Today, it is a prayer for the whole world. Let us work together to ensure that the world awakes into that heaven of freedom. As the ancients of India have taught, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May the whole world enjoy peace and happiness. Thank you very much.